Hi there, this is Vic once more. In this tutorial I'm going to explain how to use the Officer editor to create a new Officer library. For example, what I'm going to do right now is to create a small Officer library to be added to the example scenario, Volkov to Tigwin, to allow the Germans or the Soviets, not sure yet, to have a little bit more choice to replace their commanders. So let's do it for the Germans. Extra German Officers Library. Creator, well, it could be me. And here we could explain something about the purpose of this library and how I intend it to be used by the end user. Version is 1. Well, basically it's very simple. I populate this officer library by adding officers. So let's say I want to add 3 officers to this library. Well, 3 is a bit much actually. Let's add actually 2. I don't have the time to actually do historical research here, so bear with me if I make any big errors here, which I'm sure I'm going to do. So let's add 2 officers here, for example, General Karl Mulder and General von Braunhorst. If you don't know them, don't worry. I think I made them up. They both can be assigned a portrait, which I will take from the graphics delivered with the community build. German officers. I'm just going to pick basically a random portrait here for each German officers, and why not? Let's pick somebody not well known. This guy. Here we can set their basic statistics like their combat modifier. Let's say this guy is quite capable, this one isn't. And number of staff points. Something around 1,000 would be cool for the Germans. Their political points. Well, I'll leave them at 0, but basically by specifying political points, you can cause the player to pay political points if he wants to assign them to a headquarter, or in some cases to remove them. And I can assign action cards, which I will do in a minute, and I can give their core statistics, which work together with the action card system, and the number of command points they start with. So let's say this one is 2 command, value of 2 commands, and it starts with 8 command points. Like every round, the command value is added to the command points, and the command points are used to play action cards. And this one is really lousy, so it's only 1. Here we give values between 0 and 100. So let's say this guy is quite audacious, doesn't have so much determination, is not charismatic, has some sense of intuition, and has some sense of organization. And the second guy is really not capable. For German officer, audacity 45, determination 32, charisma 52, that's probably his best assets, and organization 21. Now the only thing left here to complete this officer library is to assign them some action cards. I do that by adding an officer card library like this. Import completed. So now we could import multiple officer card libraries, but I'm just using the default one, which comes with a community project. Now I can assign cards. So let's give Karl Mulder he was quite aggressive, so let's give him a tech card that matches, and say an entrenchment card. Why not? It's just about the example, and let's give him something that's usable if he would not be assigned to a front headquarter, but to like a higher level headquarter, like visit front. This guy is quite incapable, so I'll give him a recon card, which is quite useless in most circumstances. A care card, why not? And that's it for this guy. And that's basically what you do to make an officer library. So let's save this one. I call it Extra German Officers. And there we go. Let's now see how to actually implement this in an existing scenario, like the example scenario Volkov to Tigwin. There we go to the simple editor. We go to libraries and we say load library, and we look for an officer library. Take the extra German officers. We've just created these. Say import. We assign them to Germany, and we say these guys are Wehrmacht. And now we can import it. There we go. Then we now have the extra German officers library with the 2 officers over here. For them to actually show up in the game, you have to do one more step. It's to go to regimes, to go to Germany. And look at that, they're already automatically added. Well, that's cool. I could remove them if I do not want them to be present in the commander pool. But I would like to keep them there to show you everything works when we start up the game. Let's go to the dashboard, save our work, save, thank you, and start up the game. And now, while we're in the game, you can see, for example, if I would look at my officers here and say like, well, I would like to replace Franz von Rook. I can now go to the officer pool and see we have Karl Müller and von Braunhorst, who I can appoint. I don't have the political points actually to appoint them. I need 5 political points because that's the base cost to make a change. But yeah, it will work. Well, that's it. That's how you can add extra officers to your game. I think it's quite straightforward. But if you have any questions, don't be a stranger. Hop into the forums, ask your questions, or share any thoughts or any ideas you want to share. And I thank you for listening to this tutorial and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.